Here's an AFN News update for you. I'm Bronson Woodruff. Francine weakened today after striking Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane. The storm knocked out power to hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses, sent storm surge rushing into coastal communities, and raised flood fears in New Orleans and beyond as drenching rains spread over the northern Gulf Coast. The tropical storm was forecast to be downgraded to a tropical depression as it churned northward over Mississippi, according to the National Hurricane Center. Some 3 to 6 inches of rain were possible in parts of Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and the Florida Panhandle, with up to 10 inches possible in some parts of Alabama and Florida, according to forecasters. Francine slammed the Louisiana coast Wednesday evening with 100-mile-per-hour winds. It's battering a fragile coastal region that has not fully recovered from a series of destructive hurricanes in 2020 and in 2021. The percent of U.S. residents who were foreign-born last year grew to its highest level in more than a century, according to figures released today from the most recent and most comprehensive survey of American life. The share of people born outside the United States increased in 2023 to 14.3% from 13.9% in 2022, according to estimates from the U.S. Census Bureau's annual American Community Survey. International migrants have become a primary driver of population growth this decade, increasing their share of the overall population as fewer children are being born in the U.S. compared to years past. The rate of the foreign-born population in the U.S. has not been this high since 1910. Georgia's State House Speaker says lawmakers in 2025 will consider new policies to foster student mental health, detect guns, and encourage people to safely store guns. This after a school shooting killed 4 at a high school northeast of Atlanta. The proposals made today by Republican John Burns, are the first policy response to the September 4th shooting at Appalachia High School in Winder. The efforts by the Republican leader comes as he tries to protect his party's 102-78 majority in the state house in November's elections. Arguments over gun policy could influence a handful of competitive seats in Atlanta's northern suburbs, including 3 held by Republican incumbents. Young women are more liberal than they've been in decades, according to a Gallup analysis of more than 20 years of polling data. Over the past few years, about 4 in 10 young women between the ages of 18 and 29 have described their political views as liberal, compared with 2 decades ago, when about 3 in 10 identified that way. For many young women, their liberal identity is not just a new label. Gallup found the share of young women who hold liberal views on the environment, abortion, race relations, and gun laws has also jumped by double digits. And that's all for this AFN News Update. Thanks for watching. You can also keep an eye on AFN.net for much more news from a Christian perspective. I'm Bronson Woodruff.